I've worked obviously at a number of small companies, a number of larger companies, but also invested directly in companies at a pre-IPO stage. Many of these companies have done extremely well, and what was initially a very small investment ended up becoming a very large value in the market. So I've actually been thinking about how to diversify for a few years and been struggling to find a way to diversify. The challenge, obviously, is the diversification creates a huge taxable event. Now, exchange funds are offered by other firms and other investment organizations, but they're always extremely expensive and not as transparent as I wanted them to be. And what I found with Cash was a company that was leveraging technology that was very open, that was pretty clear and transparent about how they structured things. The first question that most of us would have when you come across a startup like Cash is, how do you trust this organization? And I did quite a lot of due diligence to really get that sense of trust. I think the first thing that is extremely important is to understand what happens to your assets if Cash goes out of business, for example. And as I did my research, I understood that my assets are always protected. Your assets are separate from Cash itself. So even if Cash for some reason did not continue operations, your assets are secure and they're safe. And by diversifying with Cash, I was able to firstly sleep more peacefully because now I am highly diversified. And secondly, I was able to participate in the remarkable upside both in the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. And Cash actually did better than both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 while keeping that diversification. So all in all, that worked out extremely well for me. I think Cash is a great solution for many people who have been early employees or even, more recent employees at companies like Nvidia and Google who have very concentrated positions because of their employment or concentrated positions because they invested. And they now have a huge portfolio where most of their or a high percentage of their wealth is really tied to one stock. Now, that's good when there's upside, but there's also a lot of risk associated with it. And a diversification strategy like exchange funds and a solution like what Cash offers, I think is something that from an investment theory perspective is absolutely the right thing to do.